Grace and peace to you, sisters and brothers. Amy Wilson Phelps here, the pastor of St. Paul's United Methodist Church in El Paso. I am coming to you live from the parsonage with my favorite readers, Natalie and Auggie, and their baby sister Olivia, who has the hiccups this evening. You can probably hear them through the computer. They're almost violent. We're so glad that you are with us tonight. If you will let us know that you are here, we would love to welcome you and say hello tonight. We have some fun stories in store, but first we wanted to make sure you got to see the baby and say hello. Can you say hi, Olivia? Yeah. Say hi. Welcome. Glad you're with us. Yeah. Yeah. Olivia just had some mango and squash for supper. Yeah, you didn't like the squash as much, but she did eat it. Tell him about it. Did you like your squash? She's going to go with Dad, and we are going to read. We're so glad that you're with us tonight. If you'll let us know that you are here, we can welcome you. Right, Auggie? Can you say hi?
Hi.
So I have a question for you all. Did you know that we have another holiday coming up? Yeah, we have the 4th of July. The 4th of July. Do you know what that is?
We're going to read it.
It's Independence Day. It's the day that we celebrate the birth of our country, when the United States of America became its own country.
And also, dinosaur had to swim over.
So we're going to talk about something called freedom. What is freedom? What does it mean to be free?
It means you can be free like a play.
Yeah, you can be free to play. Absolutely. So sometimes we think being free means doing anything we want. But what we learn from the Bible and from God and from Moses particularly is that sometimes we have rules to live by to help us be free in our actions. When we put other people's first, that creates some freedom and community, even if it means we can't do everything that we want. So have you ever heard of the 10 Commandments? And we're going to read those today. Auggie, can you set your tractor down for a minute so we can read?
Well, I never heard of commandments, but I would like to read it.
You would like to read the 10 Commandments?
Yes,
okay, so this is a story of the people of God, and they have been slaves. They have been slaves in Egypt, and Moses set them free. God set them free with Moses' help, and now they were wandering in the wilderness. And now God wants to say to the people, this is how I want you to act, so that people will know that you are my people. So we're starting in Exodus chapter 19, and we are reading from our Bible storybook from Deep Blue. If you will let us know that you're here, we'd love to say hello.
Like my hair?
This morning.
Good night.
You ready? Here we go. Exodus 19. Let's put this down while we read. Moses and the people continued to move around in the wilderness, and one day they came to a really tall mountain, and they set up their tents at the bottom of the mountain. They had tents like the one we slept in last week for vacation. I want the people to know that I am their God, God said to Moses. Let me finish the story and then we'll talk. Come to the top of the mountain and I will give you special rules to help the people live together the way I want them to live. So Moses went to the top of the mountain to get the special rules for the people, and God gave those rules to Moses, and they were called the 10 Commandments. Moses went up to the mountain while all the people waited below, and the people saw the top of the mountain become covered with smoke, and they heard thunder, and they saw lightning, and the people were afraid. So the people heard thunder and they saw lightning while Moses was on the mountain, and they were afraid of what was happening.
I am afraid of storms too. They turn off the lights and I am scared.
Yes, storms can be very scary. So the people wanted to see what was going on. Well, let's see what happened. So God spoke. God spoke these words and said, this is what God said to Moses. Auggie, this is what God said to Moses. There is only one God. Worship only God. Always say God's name with love. Remember to rest one day a week. Love your parents. Do not kill. Always love the person that you marry. Do not take what belongs to someone else. Do not tell lies about other people. Do not want something that someone else has. So these are rules that we live by, and it may seem frustrating because we can't do anything that we want, just anything at all, but we have to live by these rules, and that creates freedom in our communities.
And it's good that we share.
And we share, yeah. So then Moses came down the mountain, and he saw that the people were afraid, and he said, "Don't be afraid. The smoke and the thunder help us remember how powerful God is. Listen to these special rules from God." And the people listened as Moses told them God's rules. Moses told the people, "Do not be afraid." Do you know the Bible says those words, "do not be afraid," 365 times, Natalie? 365 times we are told in the Bible, "do not be afraid." That's once for every day of the year. So it's really easy sometimes for us to be afraid and try to take matters into our own hands and do what we want. But God tells us, "do not be afraid. Follow my rules and you will have freedom." Miss Terry is watching. You want to say hi?
Hi, Miss Terry.
Yeah. So, as you know, we have a baby in the house. You just saw her a few minutes ago. She is almost 8 months old, and we have begun reading board books to her, and that's been so much fun that the kids have selected some of their favorite classic board books to share with you. So we have I Am a Bunny, which is by Richard Scarry, and we have 15 Animals by Sandra Boynton. And both of these books have been favorites since the kids were really little. So let's read that one first.
This one?
Yeah. So Auggie selected this one. This was actually given to us. It was ordered for us by our good friends Kelly and Liam Cleary because their oldest child really liked it when he was very young. And it's one of the first books that Auggie and Natalie memorized because we read it so often. Again, it's by Richard Scarry. You may know him. A lot of people from my generation know all of his illustrations, his picture dictionaries, his great books. And this is called I Am a Bunny by Richard Scarry. And you all, they can help me read it because they've read it so often. I am a bunny.
I didn't even know there's bunnies eat bugs.
You want to help me?
Bunnies
I am a bunny. My name is Nicholas. I live in a hollow tree. Look at those beautiful illustrations. I am a bunny. My name is Nicholas. I live in a hollow tree. In the spring, I like to pick flowers. Look at those beautiful flowers.
I want to eat some. Why not eat flowers?
I chase the butterflies, and the butterflies chase me. Look at those beautiful butterflies.
I wish I could play a fly with the butterfly.
In the summer, I like to lie in the sun and watch the birds. That's right. Look at Nicholas the bunny lying on the ground and watching the birds in the summer. And I like to watch the frogs in the pond. Look at those frogs on the lily pads. Aren't those illustrations beautiful? There you go. Can you see them?
1, 2.
That's one up there. There's 4.
Oh, I saw one on the ground.
This is my favorite page. I don't know why. When it rains, I keep dry under a toadstool. I just think that's so cute. Look at that toadstool. It's like an umbrella, right? I blow the dandelion seeds into the air. Look at all of those dandelion seeds. So beautiful. In the fall, I like to watch the leaves falling from the trees. Look at those beautiful fall colors. Miss Amy is watching with her boys. Hi, friends.
Hi, friends.
I watch the animals. I watch the animals getting ready for the winter. Look at all those animals getting ready for the winter. Those are squirrels like the sneaky snacky squirrel game that we play. And when the winter comes, I watch the snow falling from the sky.
Oh, that one's my favorite
It's
one.
so beautiful, isn't it? We had snow in El Paso, didn't
Yeah.
we? Yes,
That was so fun.
in February.
I got to play that Auggie didn't because he was on their trip up there.
He was in Abilene, but he got to play in the snow there. Last page. Then I curl up in my hollow tree and I dream about the spring. So nice and cozy. Look at Nicholas
Oh.
in his hollow tree. So these are favorite books as well. Any book by Sandra Boynton is a favorite book. She is actually a friend of an extended family member. We do not know her personally. That would be really cool. But one of our extended family members grew up knowing her, and so we are so grateful to be able to support her books. If you have friends and family who have small kids, we recommend anything by Sandra Boynton. Her books are clever and funny and bright and colorful, and so we're going to share one of our favorites. And Paisley says hello.
Hi,
Paisley. And maybe Paisley has a favorite she can share with us, and we can read one of her favorite books soon. So this is called 15 Animals. Oh, see, Miss Amy and her family love these books too. You know, we got rid of a lot of our board books when Auggie got a little bit older because we were not expecting to have another baby. But we kept these, and we're so glad that we did because we can share them now with Olivia Kay. So this is called 15 Animals. I really like animals. I like them a lot. 15 animals is what I got. Can you imagine having 15 pets? Do any of you have 15 pets? Can you imagine? Bless you, Auggie. I've got 15 animals. They're friendly and tame, and I've given each one a special name. Look, he's cuddling up with his animals. Let's find out. I've given each one a special name. I've got a cat named Bob.
We have animals too.
We do.
We have cats and turtles.
We have cats and turtles. We sure do. We have lots of turtles.
Well, we had a dog
in the backyard.
We had a dog, but
yeah, our dog died in the fall. But this guy has 15 animals, and he says, I've got a cat named Bob and a dog named Bob. Both the cat and the dog are named Bob. And 2 fish called Bob and Bob. 2 Bob fishes. Then there's Bob, my hamster, and Bob, my horse.
everyone's Bob.
Everyone's Bob so far, right? And my piglet, known as Bob, of course. Bob the piglet. There's my rabbit Bob and his bunny wife, Bob. That's 8 and 9. And their kids, Bob, and Bob. That's right. 10, 11, and 12. We love the name Bob. There's Bob the mouse and Bob the bird.
And there's Bob.
Hey, this guy has a turtle too. There's Bob the mouse and Bob the bird and my turtle. What do you think the turtle's name is?
Bob.
And my turtle, Simon James Alexander Ragsdale III. Not Bob. The turtle's name is Simon James Alexander Ragsdale III. Oh, that's funny. One pet that didn't have the name Bob. So if we got a new dog, what would you like to name the dog?
I want to name her. I'm gonna say she's a girl and she's Cupid. No,
Oh, okay, Cupid.
I'm gonna name her a boy.
What would you name the dog?
Carlos.
Carlos?
Carlos.
Well, Auggie thinks we're ready for a dog. I told him Olivia needs to be walking at least before we consider that. We are so glad that you were with us tonight, and we hope that you enjoyed the books. If you have some book suggestions, we might have it in our library. You did very well. If we don't have it in our library, we could probably find it. So let us know if you have a book that you would like us to share. We would love to be able to share that with all of you and with the world. We are grateful for your time tonight, and we will see you next week, right? You say grace and peace?
Grace and peace.
Grace and peace. Have a great night, everyone.